Hello, shalom, and marhaba. I'm Robbie Berman, your Israeli tour guide, and I'm about to share with you a couple of secrets about Beit Sha'arim. I'm located now in Beit Sha'arim, which is in the lower Galilee, about 20 kilometers east of Haifa. Beit Sha'arim is one of Israel's 9 World UNESCO Heritage Sites. What makes Beit Sha'arim so special? It's here they found an ancient Jewish sprawling subterranean necropolis. Try saying that 3 times fast. A necropolis is a large cemetery with elaborate tomb monuments. The word is ancient Greek, necro meaning dead, polis meaning city, so literally the city of the dead. While some of these burial caves were explored in 1871, the big break came in 1936 thanks to Alexander Zayed. He was a Jewish immigrant who created the organizations Bar Giora and HaShomer to guard Jewish farmers from Arab attacks, and it was he who accidentally stumbled upon entrances to other caves that led to their excavations by the famous archaeologists Benjamin Mazar and Nachman Avigad. Inside this soft limestone hill, they were shocked to find more than 30 burial cave systems filled with an incredible array of ornate sarcophagi. It contains so many sarcophagi, it is considered one of the densest burial compounds in the Roman world. While most of the catacombs are closed, 14 are open to the public. Access to many of the catacombs were via stone doors that once turned on their axis, and some still do. On the stone doors, you can see carved images of metal bands and tacks to imitate wooden doors as they would have looked at the time. They contain a rich and diverse combination of Eastern Roman classical art and popular art, including almost 300 inscriptions written primarily in Greek, but also in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Palmyrene. Most of the catacombs contain a main hall, and the type of burial structure inside varied. In some places, the body was placed in a hewn trough. In some, the bodies were placed in a loculus, which is a niche in the wall. Some bodies were placed in an arcosolium, which is a recessed arch with a bench. Arco is arch in Latin, and solium is throne, a euphemism for where they used to put the body. And the most impressive structures here by far, however, are the sarcophagi. So these are sarcophagi, singular sarcophagus. Sarca means flesh, phagus means eating. It's a flesh eater. You put the body inside, you cover it up, and you let the microbes do their job. As you can see, most of them were broken into and robbed during the 9th century. The walls and tombs have engravings and reliefs which show images of Jewish symbols, geometric designs, animals, and figures from the Hellenistic myth and religion. Beit Sha'arim was an important center of Jewish learning during the 2nd century, and in fact, Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi, Rabbi Judah the Prince, who was the head of the Sanhedrin and redactor of the oral law, lived here and also was buried here. Do we know where Rabbi Judah the Prince was buried exactly? When he died in 220 CE in Sipori, a village about 15 kilometers from here, the Talmud states that a huge funeral procession brought him here to be buried, stopping 18 times along the way to allow different people to eulogize him. Now, inside catacomb number 14, they found an in-the-ground burial site, which was unique. All the other structures I described to you and showed you were above ground. In addition, this site was built to hold 2 people. Well, Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi wrote that he wants he and his wife to be buried in the ground when they die. The tombs next to his have inscriptions that read Rabban Gamliel and Rabbi Shimon. Well, those are the names of his 2 sons. And the next tomb over has the inscription of Rabbi Ananiah, the name of his student, Rabbi Haniah Bar Hamma, who took over the yeshiva after his death. The double grave, the fact that it's in the ground, the names of his children nearby, and the name of his most famous student, all in the same catacomb, support the theory that this is the very site of the tomb of Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi. I'm going to read from you now from the Talmud that talks about the death of Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi. It says, when Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi fell ill, Rabbi Chia entered to be with him and found him crying. And he turned to him and he said, my teacher, for what reason are you crying? Surely you know you're going to go to heaven. And he responded, I am crying for the Torah and the mitzvot that I will be unable to fulfill after I die. They found many other fascinating things that you can find here in the museum, and if you've never been here before, you really must come for a visit. This is Robbie Berman, your Israeli tour guide, sharing with you some secrets about Beit Sha'arim.